It is now November. Happy November, elves. But most importantly, that means I can share what the top 5 fragrances of October were for 2023, that is. Let's get on into it. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. The Santa Maria here. Yes, this time for the top 5 fragrances of October 2023. I know you all like these countdowns, so you all know what were my favorite fragrances. This usually means these were the fragrances I was reaching for the most. These are the ones I just kept coming back to. I even pulled these out and named it a little special section this month, so that's how I knew it was real. Anytime you get placed away from the general population of fragrances, that means I really like you. But as always, lipstick of the day today, everyone. I'm feeling very dark to match the nails, so I went in with Maack Sin lipstick, which is no stranger to the channel. I love this color this time of year. This is my favorite, like, dark wine, vampy type of color. Been that way for at least 5 years now. It will be linked below, as always, so you don't have to look for it. Next up, we have a fragrance of the day, and this is one that has been a fan favorite in previous months. I wore it a lot in the summertime more so, and it made the wedding week list. This was Amouage Guidance. You all know this fragrance has had a heck of a year this year. It's definitely been a favorite. It's boom. It has been a love or hate fragrance, very much a polarizing scent. But yes, Amouage Guidance is your fragrance of the day. I need to do your dedicated review soon. You have a first impressions of, but not a dedicated review. That'll be coming sooner rather than later. So without further ado, let's get into these top 5 fragrances. In the number 5 spot, this one really is no stranger at all. I've been talking about this fragrance ever since fall hit, and this is from bottle number 9 in the number 5 spot. This is bottle number 9's New York Nights. I'm happy to see that this fragrance is getting a lot of love lately, and that makes me really happy because it is well deserved. Just a refresher on the notes, we have notes of jasmine, gardenia, carnation, patchouli, sandalwood, marine accord, coffee, and caramel. You all know I've had this fragrance for over a year, so it's a true love for me. It already has a full dedicated review up on the channel, so I'll link it somewhere in the video. But if you want to know more about this fragrance, just in full depth, definitely check out that full dedicated review. But yeah, I enjoyed you even more, and I'm even contemplating the bodysuit for this. That's how much I'm enjoying it, so the love is real, and definitely you are a top 5 fragrance for the month. In the number 5 spot again, bottle number 9's New York Nights. In the number 4 spots, this one was it for October. This was actually my Halloween fragrance too. This is from Kilian. This is Kilian's Black Phantom in the number 4 spot. It has key notes of rum, coffee, and cyanide. As you can tell, this is a very dark fragrance. It's definitely in that woodsy Cellars collection that Kilian has. Now, if you look at the bottle, of course, you would think that maybe this is more of a masculine fragrance, but don't let the bottle fool you for Kilian's Black Phantom. Perfectly unisex. Ladies, check out Black Phantom. This is just really, really good. It has a yummy gourmandness to it, but it's still perfumey. It's not so gourmand because y'all know I'm not a total gourmand girly. But if you got a coffee note, I'm gonna tune in because I love a good coffee note. And I get more of the coffee in here than anything, so that's why it sticks out for me. Same reason why I also like New York Nights, because of the coffee note. Very, very nice. This is one that it kind of can do a disappearing act, but this is one I finally understand. It hugs fabrics more than it hugs my skin. So once I understood that, I fell in love with it even more, and I continue to reach for it. This is amazing in your hoodies and sweaters and scarves, hence why it was perfect for October, because the temperature definitely dropped down. You know, the tire pressure light came on in the car, so yes, it was Black Phantom season, and this scent definitely is one that shines when it is cold outside for sure, and I enjoyed it so much, and I'm going to continue to wear it because it's November and it's even colder now. Kilian's Black Phantom was the number 4 spot in the month of October. In the number 3 spot, you all should know this one was going to be on the list somewhere because I've been holding out on this fragrance from talking about it, even though I've had it for a minute because it's so good. I've been enjoying it, but now I can just talk about it now that I've done the haul on it. This is from the house of BDK, and this is BDK's Soir, the Extrait version. As you all recall, this came out back in the summer of this year. I immediately ordered a sample of it, did a first impressions, all of that. Y'all can check out that video to check that out. But yes, Soir Extrait, I told you all when it got cold, I said this scent would shine in cooler weather, and for me, October was that month. This scent is so good. For my original Soir, she's still sitting over there, but she collecting dust now that I have this one because the Extrait version is everything. It's thicker, it's sweeter, it's just more syrupy, and to me, that's just fall weather. And in October, that's what this scent did, what it needs to do. This fragrance has a lot of notes in it, and I'm gonna go through them again for you all just as a refresher. So we have top notes of black pepper essence, ginger essence, cocoa extract, pear, and tangerine. Then we have hard notes. We have a jasmine absolute from Morocco. We have quince, chutney, and orange blossom. Then we have base notes of patchouli, benzoin, cashmere, vanilla, and ambroxan. Let me tell you right now, if you don't like patchouli, you're not gonna like this version. Because to me, the patchouli helps to make this scent last longer. It helps to amp it up. There's more quince in here, in my opinion, than the original. The ginger's in here. I get the pear, I get the cocoa. Yeah. It's just thicker and more juicier and just way longer lasting. It lasts twice as long as the original because I know that's the main thing somebody's going to ask. Is it actually better than the original? Yes, it is. To me, this is a true Extrait version where they literally took the original and made it thicker and longer lasting. That's what I wanted from an Extrait, and BDK delivered on that. So number 3 spot goes to BDK's Soir, the Extrait. This fragrance is an OG. I picked it up last year and I'm enjoying it, and now it's back cold. It's definitely this type of season, this type of weather again. This from the house of Jo Malone, you all. Jo Malone's Myrrh and Tonka from the Cologne Intense line. As y'all can see, I have the older packaging. It's since got a packaging refresh update, which I think is cute, but I'm always have a little place in my heart for the older packaging, you know, just saying. The notes are very simple for Jo Malone's Myrrh and Tonka, and again, it's the number 2 spot. So it has top notes of lavender, it has a heart note of the myrrh, and then the base note is Tonka bean. I am a sucker for a good Tonka bean note. This scent is literally perfectly unisex. Hands down unisex, but ladies. This has a little bit of a femme fatale sex appeal to it in my opinion. I enjoy wearing this scent. Especially, you know, you're gonna have like a shoulder, like a sweater with like an off the shoulder type of vibe in it. I tend to wear this fragrance when I do that because I love a good off the shoulder moment. Let me know, Els, if you like those type of tops, you know, a good asymmetrical cut, kind of funky cut top. To me, Myrrh and Tonka sings and it shines with those type of outfits. It's definitely a that girl type of scent because this isn't a scent I smell everywhere, even though it's a bestseller from Jo Malone. And again, it's not a new scent. I don't smell it everywhere. I don't. You're more likely to smell wood sage and freesia from Jo Malone than you will smell Myrrh and Tonka because of the fact that this isn't a girly girl scent. It's not an everyday scent. I love it. Personally, I think it is cold weather signature scent worthy, and I can totally understand if this is someone's signature scent for cold weather because it's worthy of that designation in my opinion, and that's why it was my number 2 spot because I was missing this fragrance. This fragrance was at the back of my collection, but of course, when the weather changes, I like to move my fragrances around. This one came straight to the front, and then like I said, it got placed in its own separate area because I was desiring and craving Myrrh and Tonka, like I was. And I kept reaching for it, and I was wearing it most important. So again, Jo Malone's Myrrh and Tonka Cologne Intense is your number 2 fragrance for the month of October. And then there is number 1. Number 1 came through and stole the show because at first this list looked very different. Everything was shifted up, but then I played in these samples weeks ago and then I got the full bottle of it because it was that much of a love at first sniff that I'm still wowed, and this one has such a wow factor and one that completely just changed my life. I know this sounds very dramatic. I wasn't checking for this scent. It found me. I didn't find it. It's one of those type of things. And the number 1 fragrance for the month of October, you all, is Andrea Maack, and it's Pavilion from her Extrait de Parfum line. So yes, it's good and thick and strong and concentrated. Where do I begin? Y'all have heard me talk about this fragrance before when I did my sampling series on the Extrait line of Andrea Maack. I hauled it in my October haul video, and yes, this was my number 1 fragrance. Again, I was holding out on talking about it until I filmed it, but I've been wearing it. It's good. It's just really good. It's not good, no, actually, it's great. What makes it great for me is because of the fact it wasn't trending. It wasn't like a mainstream hype beast type of fragrance. It's one that I literally found and discovered, and that's the best way to find a fragrance when you know it's not something that you're being like persuaded to like. You just genuinely like it for yourself, and to me that was Pavilion. So just a reminder on the notes, you all. So we have top notes of praline, accord, honey, and saffron, and then we have heart notes of rose essential, and patchouli, and then we have a base notes of vanilla, amber, and oud accord. This works, and by the way, the concentration is 25% on the oil, so a true Extrait. It's definitely a gourmand sweet vanilla oud for sure. Because the rose isn't too much, the oud isn't too much, that vanilla and that praline help to sweeten it up and give it a slight gourmand touch that isn't too foody. It's still a perfume, but very much a scent that is a cold weather scent. This is a very much, I'm gonna make an impression type of fragrance in my opinion, because I don't smell this everywhere, this type of profile, even though it's a rose and oud technically, but it ain't the typical rose and oud. And I appreciate that so much about this fragrance. Oh, and by the way, it lasts. This is a fragrance I've worn again multiple times. It lasts on my skin, it lasts on my clothing especially. I did my laundry the other day and I wore it in a sweater not too long ago, wore it to the hair salon. My hairstylist was like, okay, what are you wearing today? She said, no, that's really good, whatever you got on. And I had to tell her, I was like, it's something new. I said, great. And it was this. And I'm just like, y'all, Pavilion is fantastic. And most importantly, again, you can sample it like I did. Y'all know I got my samples from Twisted Lily, bottle from Twisted Lily. Y'all know the news. That's where I do my niche sampling from, is Twisted Lily. But y'all, Pavilion stole the show. And it ain't letting up because it's still in my special cabinet for fragrances I'm digging right now, because Pavilion is that girl. She's that girl. I mean, this is Rose Oud gourmandness. It works. It works. It works. And hands down, I'm gonna continue to wear her. So again, that was the #1 spot, and that is Andrea Maack's Pavilion. So all right, everyone, that wraps up my top 5 fragrances for the month of October 2023. Let me know your thoughts on my list, and as well as tell me what were your top 5 fragrances that you found yourself reaching for, that brought you the most joy. I wanna know. It could be something you got recently, it can be something old, because as you all can see, my top 5 was a mix of fragrances I recently picked up as well as fragrances I've had for some time. I've had over a year. So let me know, what have you been craving? Let me know. It's always fun to see what we end up wearing, because at the end of the day, I know for me, I personally wear my fragrances based on my mood. I don't have like a designated set fragrances that I have to wear for a certain week or time. It's what I'm feeling. So that's what these fragrances were. These were the fragrances that stood out the most for me. So as always, if you dig me, subscribe to the channel. If you're here for the content, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not here for any of this, then I guess you don't want to smell good in fall season. But until next time, Ills, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.